Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Steve-O. I'm at Staples Center in Los Angeles, California, watching the Winnipeg Jets and the LA Kings. And you can see I'm in the suite, watching Post to Post.
Hello and welcome to Post to Post, the channel where we discuss all things hockey and all teams. Man, we are just rocking through these series preview videos. St. Louis versus Winnipeg. It's going to be a really interesting series. I think it's going to be a really physical series. We're going to get into everything. We're going to reveal our predictions at the end and go over some just some notes, I think, probably on each team. First, we're going to talk about some statistics and kind of tell you who has the statistical advantage in not every single category, but some of the main ones. So for the record, Winnipeg is 47-30-5. St. Louis is 45-28-9. Fairly close, actually. Advantage Winnipeg. Goals for, 270 by Winnipeg, 244 by St. Louis. Advantage Winnipeg. Goals against, 243 Winnipeg, 220. So St. Louis actually has the advantage in that category. Power play, 24.8% for Winnipeg, 21.1% for St. Louis. Both very good power plays, but Winnipeg does hold the advantage there. Penalty kill, 79.1 for Winnipeg, 81.5 for St. Louis. Advantage St. Louis. Face-off percentage, 50.7 for Winnipeg, 51.4 for St. Louis. So advantage St. Louis. So it goes back and forth a little bit in these statistical categories. And now we can kind of dig in a little bit. So what I've done in the previous videos and what I'll do in this one is I have a bunch of notes written down here on each team. I'm just going to go through one team at a time. I'm going to start with Winnipeg. The first thing I want to say is Hellebuyck needs to return to his elite form of last year. He has the best season of his career last year. And this year he's been average.
Yeah, he's been quite human.
He's been very human,
Yeah.
But he needs to go back. He needs to take a step back to what he was last year. It's not impossible. He's had really good. Actually, he's had some really strong games later in this past couple of weeks. Even though that they've lost some crucial games, he's had moments where he's looked like Hellebuyck of last year. So I really need him to be the person the goaltender that he was last year. Winnipeg needs to take advantage of Binnington's lack of experience or Allen's shaky confidence. Regardless of who St. Louis plays in net, I think they're going to start Binnington. I don't know why they wouldn't. They need to take advantage of that. Binnington has never played, to my knowledge, in an NHL playoff game.
I think you're correct there.
He's a rookie. He is inexperienced, maybe is the better word than rookie. And they need to take advantage of that. They need to get into his head a little bit. They need to, if they need to say something to him, not like insulting, but just, like get inside of his head a little bit and see if they can get him off his game. I think Winnipeg needs to do that. If Allen's in net, just score 4 goals in the first game, and then Allen won't be able to play the rest of the series. He's got a really shaky confidence in that. And that sucks to say because he's my favorite player in the NHL, but he does have confidence issues. But when Allen's confidence is at its max, Jake Allen can be one of the best goalies, if not the best goalie in the league. He kept them in the series a couple of years ago against a couple teams or one team. I can't remember who they played, but he was absolutely incredible, elite. And if he can get back to that game, St. Louis is going deep regardless of who's in net. So, yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Patrick Laine needs to sort out whatever is holding him back. He's better than 50 points in 82 games and he's minus 24. That's like, I think he was minus 13 more than anyone else on the team, which is unacceptable. You're Patrick Laine. You're better than 50 points in 82 games. I don't know what's going on in his head. I don't know if it's physical. Sort it out, because Winnipeg isn't going to win the Stanley Cup unless Patrick Laine is at the top of his game. So figure it out, Laine. I think Kyle Connor will be the difference maker in this series. Super underrated player, super underrated goal scorer. He needs to be shadowed because he's so fast and so smart. He needs to be watched by St. Louis big time. Bufflin has to play physical but smart. He's one of the best players. He's one of the best physical players, if not the best physical player in the NHL, but he needs to be really smart. He can't be taking stupid penalties.
He does. He averages almost one minor penalty per game.
Yeah.
And when you're playing a team that's potent on the power play, you can't do that. They're both potent on the power play. They're both going to score 1 time out of 5, more or less, or 4. So if you're in the penalty box once per game, at least one of those first 4 games, if you just take the law of averages, your team's going to give up a goal because of you, if you're Dustin Bufflin. So what you say is right on. He has to just dial that part of his game down just a little bit.
Yep, I think so.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a very low-scoring series. I think the goaltending on both sides is very good. Hopefully very good on the Winnipeg side. But I think Winnipeg needs to get Bennington out of his zone, because he's in a zone right now. I think he's on like a 9-game winning streak or something like that.
He's got crazy numbers. 1.89 goals against average. And he's played 32 games. This isn't just some fluky guy who played 7 games.
Yeah.
He's played 32 games.
They need to get him out of his zone. Whatever it takes, I don't know what it's going to take, but they need to get him out of that zone.
Yeah.
Winnipeg needs to shut down O'Reilly. O'Reilly is one of the best two-way forwards in the NHL, one of the best defensive forwards. He's big, he's strong, he's commanding. He reminds me a lot of Yager. So they really need to shut him down. They can't allow him to dictate the play by St. Louis. If he's shut down, then St. Louis will struggle.
And he's a playmaker. He had just 1 goal or 1 assist shy of 50 this year.
Yeah.
So he's maybe not going to be the guy who scores that goal, although he scores a lot too. But it's the other guy that you're not covering because you're covering him, right?
Oh, totally.
So,
yep, totally.
Yeah.
On St. Louis' side of things, in my opinion, they need to start Bennington. I don't know why they wouldn't. I can't see in any scenario why they would start Allen. No offense to Jake Allen, but everyone knows the issue there. Mm-hmm. But if Bennington fails, then Allen will go in, and we'll see where it goes. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. St. Louis should stay on pace with the Jets physically. Don't be pushovers. The Winnipeg Jets play a very physical game. You can't allow yourself to play into that. You can't allow yourself to be checked and be demoralized. Throw some hits back. Play that physical game with Winnipeg. You don't have to play more physical than Winnipeg.
No.
You just have to play as physical.
And you're probably going to get away with that. You're going to have some license to play a slightly more physical game than you would get away with in the regular season, because it's widely known that in the NHL, the referees do take their whistles and put them in their pocket a little bit more during the playoffs. They allow a lot more.
And that's why playoff hockey is so good.
It's why, because the players get to dictate the amount of physicality on the ice without the league or the referees trying to step in and control that.
Yep, agreed. Yep, well said. St. Louis needs to find a little bit more depth scoring if they want to beat Winnipeg. You can't rely on Scheifele and Wheeler and Kyle Connor to score all your goals. You need to have depth scoring. You need to get St. Louis. I was trying to think of, we've been doing so many series recently that I'm thinking of top lines. We just talked about Dallas and Sergei Radulov and Jamie Benn. And in my mind, I was thinking top line in the series. And to me, the top line in the series is Scheifele, Kyle Connor, and Blake Wheeler. They need to. St. Louis needs more scoring out of their top line. They need efforts from Sundqvist, Bozak, Schwartz, players like that. They have to get depth scoring. They have to, or there's no way they're going to beat Winnipeg. The Blues need to be disciplined. They don't want to face the Jets' power play. It's too good. They have too many weapons. They don't want to face it. They can't. So the Blues really need to stay disciplined. Blues need to remember that they've been the best West team in the NHL in 2019.
That's right. Since New Year's Day, they're the top.
And there's no reason why it can't continue.
Yeah.
Not a single reason. It should continue, and that's why I predicted them to go to the Stanley Cup Finals. A very bold prediction.
Yeah.
I think they need to feed off the emotions of the Jets fans in the Jets home arena. It's going to be probably the loudest arena in the entire NHL, maybe the Nassau Coliseum.
I think Long Island will be a little bit noisier and maybe a little bit smaller.
Technically, yes.
Yeah.
I think it's like 13,000 versus 15,000.
Something like that nowadays, yeah.
But yeah, that place is going to be really, really loud. And I think St. Louis needs to feed off that. They can't allow it to get in their head. They need to use it to their advantage. So we'll see. That's all I have to say about Winnipeg, and that's all I have to say about St. Louis.
Well, that's great. Did you have a prediction?
My prediction is St. Louis in 7.
49% of me hopes you're right, because I love the St. Louis story. I'm a big fan of Jake Allen, just like you are. And for his sake, if for no other reason, I want to see them go as deep as they can go. But also Winnipeg's disappointment last year, which you saw firsthand.
Yeah, I was there.
You were there. I would like them to use that and overcome this season.
Yeah, totally.
And go deeper, or maybe even all the way. I think the series is going to go 7 games. I think it's going to go all the way. Game 7, back in Winnipeg. St. Louis in there, the crowd loud.
Mm-hmm.
I think Winnipeg feeds off that and wins Game 7.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
That's my prediction.
Anything else to say?
No, I'm good. I think I said it a little bit on the podcast. I think St. Louis's big run of 8-1-1 in the last 10 regular season games is a little bit misleading because of the quality of teams that they played against.
Right, you did mention that.
They only had one game against Vegas. They had a game against Tampa. The rest of the games were against teams that were not really playoff contenders or barely in. Mm-hmm. So St. Louis's numbers might be a bit inflated because of that. That doesn't take away from their amazing performance they've done in the entire calendar year of 2019. So they're a very, very good hockey team. And they're not the hockey team that started the season. Not at all.
No.
They're the hockey team that really deserves to be where they are, playing among the best. Mm-hmm. And if they were to win the series, if your prediction were to come true and they were to win the series, I'd be thrilled. I'd be just thrilled. I'd feel bad for Winnipeg.
I really like Winnipeg too, so I don't necessarily want them to lose, but I just like the underdog story of St. Louis more.
Yeah.
That's all it comes down to.
And if they can get past Winnipeg, I think their confidence level will be in a place where they'll believe they can beat anybody. Mm-hmm. And they may be right.
Yep.
So we'll see.
I agree. All right. Well, that's everything for this video. Thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it. Next up, we're doing the San Jose and Vegas series. So if you're not subscribed, hope you can hit the subscribe button to join us for that video. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Hope you're excited for hockey, and we'll see you in the next video. Adios.